So first thing that we do gotta get out of the way, my voice, it sounds horrible. I can't do anything about it, I have tonsillitis. It hurts like a bitch, it's not going away anytime soon, and since I missed last week's review, we gotta do the double review now, otherwise I don't know what it'll look like even next week, if I could even do a triple review. So we're gonna try to get through this Fruits Basket review one way or another. Now, in terms of just the content in general, episodes 7 and 8, more or less, they connect very well, and it's not surprising because we're in the beach house kind of style arc. Pretty much every episode up until whenever they leave this beach house kind of little summer vacation, they're going to connect really well, so whether you're binging it or watching it week to week, it's going to feel like there's a kind of like interlinking plot and things like that. I would say with last week, it pretty much set in motion pretty much everything that we've been building up throughout season 1 and pretty much all the episodes we have with season 2, and it kind of feels like payoff despite us not even being, you know, most of the way through the story. It feels to me as if all the relationships that we formed, good and bad, kind of over 7 and 8, they kind of reached a point where you just feel like there's a lot of payoff, but it's far from over. The bad is pretty much Akito and just the idea that this is a character who can casually bring up, hey, I want to kill Toru. Doesn't, necessarily say kill Toru, but take care of her, which you know what that's being implied. It's horrible, it's scummy, you don't want to like that character. I don't like the character, but goddamn, am I really happy that they're still a part of the Fruits Basket universe, because can you imagine Fruits Basket if Akito wasn't there breaking down every character mentally, calling characters like Kyo a monster, because how could a monster have fun with a girl who's so ugly, as Akito always says? Someone who will just bring up how, oh, if you're the bull, you basically are a very cursed child. No one trusts the bull because they're dense and stupid. This is a character who brings down everyone, even their right-hand man. It's a pretty horrible and scummy persona, but you gotta wonder what happened to let a character like that to be that way, because can you really be born that way? And if that's the truth, then I really want to see the parents of Akito, because goddamn do they mess up. But in terms of just all the little things that are happening, I mean, Rin is one of the more newer additions, so that still feels like it's a lot newer, so we don't have really the build-up. We just know, oh, the horse, she's sick, clearly she's trying to push away, she doesn't want treatment, but wants to be around people, but is scared to be around people. That's a newer plotline for sure, but you can look at the stuff with Shigure, a character who we still don't know what the hell he's thinking, but you have episodes like the past two, where at the very least for myself, I feel like I'm now back on the side of trusting him, but still am cautious, almost like wanting to sleep one eye open if you're in the same building as him. It doesn't feel like he's pressing Akito towards Toru and the others because he wants chaos, but rather because he wants change. We still don't know exactly what that change is going to be, but it does feel like he probably does have more good interests in his heart than bad, but at the same time, I still firmly believe he's the type of character who has no problems if a couple of people do get hurt for what he considers to be the greater good in his eyes. You have all the Kyo content, which basically is once again highlighting how he's pretty much the only one who observes Toru in terms of good and bad things that are happening to her, and the fact that they are more or less the ones who spent all the time together over the past couple of episodes because, well, everyone else was visiting their best friend Akito, which goddamn is that a sentence I didn't think I would be saying so soon into season 2, but here we are. It's really interesting to see their relationship continue to blossom, because you still definitely feel like that's a true romantic connection blooming, and I'm not saying that because I'm like some Kyo x Toru shipper more than I am a Yuki x Toru, because I honestly like Yuki as well as Kyo more or less equal. Toru is still one of my favorite characters, but in terms of which I prefer, I like them both. I think they both have their merits and their cons. So me saying I think this is a more romantic connection, it's never me saying it because I want it more. I do not care what characters end up with who, unless you end up with Akito, because that's a very toxic relationship. As long as both characters are mutual with that connection, then that's a good story for me, and I can watch anything unfold. But if you compare just the banter and just the shenanigans that Kyo and Toru get up to, and then you compare it with last week's episode and just, it built it up as a very romantic scene, but it almost felt like, I'm going to keep saying it, I know I sound like a broken record, but every time I see more into Toru and Yuki's relationship, the more I feel like it's a mother and son. That's honestly how it feels. Yuki, I still am unsure of what he thinks he feels for Toru. I don't think he understands what he feels. I think he's probably very confused whether it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, or family dynamic. But the fact that, he goes in for kisses but then just kind of breaks down and just needs a shoulder to cry on, It feels to me like he needs family more than anything. I could be completely wrong, I don't know the manga, but it just, every time we see more into this relationship, the more it feels like that's the direction they want to go. But of course there's going to be that conflict of which of the two most likely is going to end up with Toru, because at this point I don't think they're going to introduce a third love interest. That's really going to be like the love triangle is going to become a love box. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. Could it? Sure. But even if they tried, it's not going to have that same connection as these three do, because they were there right from the beginning. And all the other characters like Momoji and the others, it doesn't feel to me like that's the same caliber as these central three. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they're going to do, because it feels like, just with that confession, the fact that Toru didn't hear every word, it feels like Yuki is really trying to come out of his shell, and you're seeing him be a lot more brave, but also a lot more sheltered in some ways, I might want to say. So it's going to be quite fascinating to see what his goal is here, and what honestly Akito said to him, because apparently it was the truth, but can you really believe the truth from this person? I really don't know where they want to take it, and the fact that we're, 8 episodes in now to season 2, and we're gonna get a season 3, the fact that it's still finding new ways to shock Anami, it says a hell of a lot about the quality for this story. I mean, ever since season 1 was basically starting, I was hearing about this arc in particular, and it was supposedly going to be amazing, and I can definitely see why, because once you have the established cast of characters, once pretty much everyone has been introduced and you understand them at a deep enough level, it's understandable why basically all sharing a summer vacation together with the person who could kill you in your sleep would be a pretty exhilarating arc, both on the emotional end of just breakups and just heartbreak and just love and friendships and things like that, and then you have someone who wants to ruin and manipulate everyone's lives. There's so many times where you look at Akito, or just characters in general, and you feel uncomfortable, as if we wish we could change this, but this is Fruits Basket. It's not just going to be a happy-go-lucky story. It's not going to be one of those shows where just everything kind of falls into Toru's lap. She's going to suffer from her past, she's going to suffer in her present, but hopefully the future will be worth all the suffering, as we hope for all these characters. I'm really liking what they're doing. I have to say, just the past 2 episodes, it feels like you wish you had the next 10. I doubt this arc's going to last 10 episodes total, but still, maybe it could. It just feels like I wish I had the entire arc just to binge, because it feels like they're building up to something truly extraordinary. And the more I watch this arc, the more worried I am, but the more I want to see the worst case scenario, just because it's going to lead to some of the best storytelling, if not the best storytelling Fruits Basket has seen to date, and obviously only time will tell. Something I really notice about, most importantly, episode 8, is how the voice actors gotten into their role, and I'm always talking about the Japanese. I don't watch the dub. If anyone is watching in the future when the dub catches up, I'm talking about the Japanese quality here. I'm just really impressed with just some of the fluctuations, especially with characters like Yuki, and just even Akito, just the way they'll switch around from being in their normal to then you can tell they're upset, but it's not like screaming or anger, but it's almost like you go quiet or you just have venom in your voice. I love what they do with the voice actors. You can tell that there's passion behind this, as if they actually care about what they're acting for and they want to make it feel like a real person, not just an anime character. And the way they went in with the directing, once again, most importantly episode 8, episode 7 as well, there's so many times where you just look in and you know exactly what everyone is feeling, despite it being a simple shot under the stars, or you're watching a character put on a brave face, despite not really being all that brave. And it's going to be quite interesting to see how their actors are going to continue to evolve, because compare them to episode 1, compare them now to up to episode whatever we're at, 32 or 34, whatever. It's kind of insane to see the jump in quality when they already started off pretty fantastic. To be honest, I don't have too much more to say over these past couple of episodes. 1, because my voice is killing me, and 2, it just feels like we're still in the intro stages to this arc, and it just keeps creeping upon us as if we're going to see some crazy stuff, and once we see it, we're going to wish we didn't see it, but then we're also going to be very happy we did, because the pain is going to make for some crazy storytelling. I'm sorry if I didn't go into as much depth as everyone wants, but this review is kind of killing me to do, but I wanted to get it up because I didn't have time last week, so the double review I hopefully got everything across that I needed to. I don't think I'm forgetting anything I wanted to talk about anyway, but if I did, I'll bring it up in next week's review anyway. So, as always, let me know your thoughts and opinions, be it for manga readers, which I'd be very interested to hear. How did you like the adaptation accuracy? And for anime originals, whether it's for last week or this current episode, what did you think, and theories and speculations if you have no information on the source material? Do let me know. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, share your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't been around here. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.